father and son go on the run, pursued by the government and a cult drawn to the child's special powers. Welcome back to Movies Explained. Today's film is a mystery sci-fi from 2016 titled Midnight Special. The glow of a television set illuminates an otherwise dark motel room. On the news, an Amber Alert of a missing boy named Alton Meyer, last seen with a man named Roy, traveling in a primer gray Chevelle. Lucas removes the tape covering the peephole and finds that the sun has set. He informs Roy that it's time to leave. Lucas gathers their guns as Roy informs Alton that it's time to go. The motel employee notices that their car matches the description that's been on the news all day and calls the police. As they drive down the highway, they hear the police scanner notifying all cars to be on the lookout for them. Lucas gets on a different highway and uses his night vision goggles to drive without lights. Meanwhile, on a church compound, Calvin Meyer, their leader, tells Doak that he has 4 days to get the boy back. He informs him that what he does now will decide their whole way of life. Calvin exits the room and begins preaching to his congregation. As he's preaching, the FBI raids their ranch and informs everyone that they are being detained and will be bused to a local high school. After passing 3 counties, Roy wants Lucas to slow down and turn on his lights. As Lucas turns on his headlights, he narrowly misses a stranded car in the middle of the road. However, a car traveling in the opposite direction crashes into the stranded vehicle, severely injuring the driver. Lucas gets out to help the driver. As he proceeds, a police car approaches. He's about to help them when he notices their car. As he tries to radio in, Lucas draws his weapon and warns the officer not to do it. The officer pulls his weapon, forcing Lucas to shoot him. He calls for an ambulance on the radio before taking off. The FBI interrogate members of the congregation about the enormous arsenal of weapons they've begun to accumulate. Calvin tells Agent Miller that gun ownership is still permitted in this nation and he is within the law. Paul Sevier, an NSA agent, enters and interviews Calvin as well. He informs him that the words and numbers from his sermon contain sensitive government information. Calvin informs Agent Sevier that he got it from Alton, his adoptive son. Agent Sevier inquires about Alton's abilities. Calvin informs him that he speaks in tongues and that's where the information comes from. Agent Sevier interrogates other members of the ranch. A woman describes Alton's abilities, seeing windows and light bulbs breaking and cars shutting down. She explains to Agent Sevier that his condition worsened as he grew older, so they allow him to sleep during the day and remain awake at night. As a result, their church services are now held at night. A man tells Agent Sevier about the light that emanates from Alton's eyes and how people can see things at that moment. After interrogating everyone, Sevier allows them to return to the ranch. Doak and Levi amass a hidden arsenal of weaponry and set out to find Alton. Roy, Lucas and Alton arrive at Eldon's house, a former member of their compound who gives them shelter for the night and has all the windows already covered for them. Roy is awoken in the morning by an earthquake, and when he runs to Alton's room, he finds Eldon gazing into a bright light emanating from Alton's eyes. Roy knocks out Eldon with a lamp while shielding Alton from the sun. They wait until the sun goes down before they start heading out. Eldon apologizes and tells Roy that he just had to see it one more time. Roy informs Eldon that they'll be taking his van. While driving, Alton starts speaking in Spanish, which surprises Lucas, but Roy informs him that he doesn't speak Spanish and turns on the radio, where he notices Alton reciting what the DJ on the radio is saying. When they arrive at a gas station, Lucas goes inside to get supplies, and Roy orders Alton to stay in the van while he goes to the payphone. Alton gets out of the van and walks to the parking lot, his gaze fixed on something above. Roy notices Alton conversing with a stranger and rushes over. Alton apologizes for what he's done. When Roy and Lucas look up, they see flaming debris falling from the sky. They grab Alton and flee from the gas station. When Alton's nose begins to bleed, Lucas wants to rush him to the hospital, but Roy assures him that he will be fine. They arrive at a house and are greeted by Sarah, Alton's mother. After putting Alton to bed, she informs Roy that Alton doesn't look good. She suggests taking him to a hospital, but Roy wants to stick to the plan and get him to his destination by Friday, which is only 3 days away. Roy believes that the numbers Alton has been reciting in church are coordinates and a date of something important. Meanwhile, Doak and Levi pay a visit to Sarah's mother, armed with guns and duct tape. Agent Sevier and Agent Miller arrive at the gas station. They are told that the defense satellite tasked with detecting a nuclear explosion crashed at the gas station. Miller shows Sevier a thermal reading from the satellite and they believe that's where Alton was standing. Miller informs Sevier that Alton set off a satellite whose sole purpose is to detect a nuclear event. They determine they can program a drone to track that same thermal reading, so next time Alton's powers flare, they can locate him. Meanwhile, Roy and Sarah watch TV as the news reports about a weather satellite crashing because it malfunctioned. Sarah goes outside to tell Lucas to turn the car around. While Sarah makes small talk, Lucas installs a police scanner in Sarah's car. He tells Sarah that he was Roy's childhood friend before Roy joined the ranch. Prior to all of this, he was a state trooper, until Roy showed up on his doorstep 3 days ago with Alton. As they continue driving, Sarah asks Alton if he brought the satellite down, and Alton explains that he did because the police were watching him. He claims that he heard them talking about him. Doak and Levi arrive at Sarah's house and start looking for leads on finding Alton. Doak wants Levi to look for the registration of the van parked outside. On the road, Alton has difficulty breathing. When Lucas pulls over to assist him, flashes of blinding light begins to come out of Alton's eyes as he screams in agony. He runs outside and begins to vomit, and all the grass around him starts dying. Lucas fights Roy to get him to the hospital, but Roy refuses. Alton informs them that they must leave because they are coming. He instructs Lucas to leave with Sarah while he heads out on foot with Roy, pointing in the direction they need to go. They rush into the woods and stumble upon a cave and take shelter as a helicopter searching for them passes overhead. Alton has become weak and collapses. Roy lays him down to take a break and get his strength back. Alton informs Roy that he needs to be awake during the day when the sun is out. Roy tells him that he can't. The sun can kill him, but Alton wants Roy to trust him. The numbers from Calvin's sermon are decoded by Severe. They consist of a set of coordinates and dates. Some locations correspond to events such as the shooting of the state trooper and the explosion of a gas station. Others are just state secrets. Setting the government coordinates aside, Severe figures out where Alton is headed. Alton nods and they walk out into the sun. As the sun hits Alton, he begins to emit blue light and the ground begins to tremble beneath their feet as an energy explosion occurs, creating a ball of energy around them. Lucas and Sarah seek refuge in a motel. Lucas boards up the windows in preparation for Alton's arrival, and Sarah informs him that Roy will go to any length to bring Alton here. A knock on the door soon after scares them because it is still daylight. Lucas looks and is shocked to see Alton and Roy standing at the door. Sarah is overjoyed to see Alton looking so vibrant and healthy. Alton asks everyone to take a seat as he explains where he believes he is from. He tells them about a parallel world on top of ours where everyone is like him, and his hand and eyes begin to glow as he speaks. As they begin to exit the motel room, Lucas is shot by Doak. Roy rushes to help but is shot in the shoulder by Levi from behind. They tie them with zip ties and escape with Alton. Sarah is able to break free and cut their zip ties, and they immediately begin to pursue them but run into traffic caused by a military checkpoint. Roy takes the side of the road to get to the front but is forced to get back in line by the soldiers on the entrance. When they finally get on the road, they see Doak's pickup truck and a helicopter flying away from next to the truck and realize that the government now has Alton. A group of military officers and scientists attempt to talk to Alton on a military base, but he says he'll only speak to Severe, which shocks everyone, and even Severe since Alton has never met him. Alton requests for everyone else to exit. He uses his telekinetic abilities to prevent the security cameras from capturing what is going on, and pops the door open, so Severe can join him. He informs Severe about another world, and tells him that they have been watching them for a long time. His eyes light up as he speaks to Severe. Roy is heartbroken by his failure. Shortly after, all of the surrounding payphones begin to ring at the same time. Roy answers, and Severe informs him that he has Alton, and tells Roy where they may meet. Alton assists Severe in stealing a car to get to their rendezvous point. In the morning, Severe meets with Roy and hands over Alton. Severe informs them that he decoded the patterns and they know where they are going. He informs Roy about police barricades all over the area. He cuffs himself with Lucas's handcuffs as they head out. Roy and Sarah wrap Alton in a bulletproof vest and prepare to pass through the police barricade. As they head out, multiple helicopters can be seen hovering the skies looking for them. Alton shows Roy which road to take to encounter the least amount of soldiers. Roy steps on the gas and breaks through the barricade as the soldiers give chase. Shortly after, Alton informs Roy that they have arrived. Roy stops as Sarah and Alton continue on foot. Roy continues driving and diverts the attention on him and Lucas, allowing Sarah and Alton to get away. Alton suddenly stops, and his eyes and hands light up, followed by an explosion of energy. When Sarah looks up, she's astounded to see enormous structures that have appeared out of nowhere. Roy and Lucas are shocked at what they're seeing. They continue driving until they lose a wheel and stop only when their car flips over. Agent Severe observes in awe, along with the town's residents. Sarah watches as extraterrestrial beings appear and walk towards Alton. They surround him and Sarah realizes that this will be the last time she sees Alton. Seconds later there's another energy explosion, and they disappear along with all the extraterrestrial structures, leaving Sarah in tears. Roy and Lucas are apprehended by the soldiers and sent to a military detention facility. They are interrogated by government officials that demand to know where Alton is. Roy's eyes illuminate as he stares into space. Sarah changes her appearance and goes into hiding. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more videos.